In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 life-changing books that I read during 2021 and the 3 main takeaways I got from each of them. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dane, and on this channel I talk all about self-publishing books through Amazon, all in entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. In today's video, I'm going over 3 of the most life-changing books I read during the year of 2021 and my 3 main takeaways that I got from each of them. So in this video, I'm going over those 3 main takeaways. I don't want to go into detail on like a summary of each book. That's just going to bore you guys. I want to give you the 3 and just cut to the chase and give you the 3 main things that I took away from each of those books. And trust me, it was hard for me to come up with 3 main things, only 3 things to take away from each of these books. But I did come up with 3, the main things. I probably missed a few things, so these books are all pretty long, but I did enjoy them all thoroughly. And this kind of differs from my usual content on my channel, but I wanted to talk about this because it is kind of related. I guess we're talking about books. And I know a lot of people on my channel would be interested in a video topic like this one. So I wanted to incorporate it in the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But anyways, guys, I don't want to beat around the bush anymore. Let's jump into my computer. I have these 3 books listed on slides with the 3 main things, the 3 main takeaways that I took away from each of them, and also talk about a bonus, and I'll also talk about at the end the books that I plan on reading for 2022. So without further ado, let's jump on my computer and let's talk about these 3 main books. So book number 1 is The Story of Lululemon by Chip Wilson. Okay, and if you don't know what Lululemon is, it's a brand. It's an athletic clothing brand that actually originated from where I'm from, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And it's honestly one of the brands that I wear the most. I'm literally wearing, can't really see it, literally wearing a pair of their pants right now as I'm filming this. And it's one of my favorite clothing brands. So I decided I want to read the story behind it. And Chip Wilson is the founder of Lululemon. So I thought it'd be super interesting because not only did he write the entire book, but he also narrates it. I read the audiobook version of this book, and from his perspective and listening to him speak, this is definitely, like, I have these in order. This is my favorite book of 2021 by far. The amount of business lessons that I learned from this and just the amount of stories, it was so entertaining while also intertwining tons of business lessons. I loved this book. I couldn't put it down. I read it in like just a few days, listened to it in a few days. It's like a 12-hour long book, I think. And I just fell in love with the whole Lululemon story, and it made me enjoy the brand even more and have a new respect for it. So anyways, stop rambling here. My 3 main takeaways were these. So you can see on screen here. Number 1 was see into the future and spot trends. Don't be afraid to be told no. Okay. And this is something that's always bothered me and something that I've struggled with is that if I say an idea to someone or I have some kind of outlook on something and someone disagrees with it, I usually just kind of crumble. And it's like, I don't want to pull through with it. If they say no, I don't continue doing it. But what this book showed to me is that it's worth it to see through on your ideas and continue pushing through, even when someone doesn't see the picture that you see in your head. And they say, no, it's not worth it. That's a stupid idea. I know it's cliche, but this book showed me exactly why it's such a big reason to do. Because when Chip was first starting Lululemon, a lot of people thought it was stupid, and he pushed through, and look where it is now. It's a $1 billion company. So definitely one of the main takeaways from the book. Takeaway number 2 was be different on purpose and accept that criticism comes to those who think outside the box. And this kind of pairs with number 1, is that you have to be able to accept criticism and see it as a good thing, not a bad thing. People see that and they criticize you and you just crumble. Like I said, you're never going to push forward, okay, with anything you're doing in life. So in this book, Chip talks about being different on purpose and accepting criticism rather than being against it, which I thought was very powerful. And finally, probably the number 1 business takeaway that I got from this book was building a culture within the business that also resonates to the customers. And I thought that was really interesting. You can see it with Lululemon, how it's almost like a cult-like following with Lululemon, whether it's the people who work there or the people who shop there. They all love the brand unconditionally, to the point where they'll buy anything that they sell. Not only because it's just Lululemon, but because the quality of the clothing that they produce is so high quality. I wear it every single day, and it's just they have that reputation of it being amazing. And the culture they have inside the business, the way that they train their employees, the way that they treat their customers, what they do within the, like, literally right down to the little specifics, like how the change room lighting is. I remember this from the book. It's all done on purpose to create that culture that you always remember when you go in the store, when you leave the store. So I thought that was very cool. And that was my third main takeaway from the Lululemon book. Book number 2 was a insanely powerful book, and it's called Relentless by Tim Grover. And I'm surprised I hadn't read this book before, but I decided to go into it this year in 2021. And this was probably one of the most mindset changing books. I know a lot of people hate mindset stuff. It's not so much just only mindset. It's about just being relentless at everything that you do and having the mindset of being powerful and having the confidence to push through things even when all odds are stacked against you. So I thought this book was just amazing. And the way that Tim Grover presents it with his different ways of talking about the different types of people. He's got coolers, cleaners, and closers as different ways of describing different types of people and how they approach different challenges in life. So I thought it was very cool, and I learned a ton of different things when it comes to having a relentless mindset. There's tons of background. If you don't know who Tim Grover is, he's actually Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade's personal trainer. So the guy's been around some incredibly competitive and amazing athletes throughout the day. So he knows exactly what it means to be relentless. If you've looked at Michael Jordan, you know who that is. If you know Kobe Bryant, you know that they are relentless athletes and competitors in the sport that they play. So Tim Grover has been around them, and obviously Tim Grover is obviously a relentless person as well, being able to get to where he was. So very credible author, and you definitely learn a ton from this book. So my 3 main takeaways were: you're not intimidated by pressure, you thrive on it, okay? And I know that a lot of people will crumble under pressure. It's something that can get to them. In this book, he explains you need to thrive on pressure, because if you don't, pressure will always just get the best of you and you'll just crumble. If you thrive on pressure, you live with it, and you understand that it's just gonna be a part of your life, you work with it, it can definitely be used to your advantage. So I thought that was very powerful. Another thing is you don't celebrate your achievements because you always want more. And this is something that's kind of a hard truth for a lot of people, but if you're into online business, sports, whatever it is, once you get to that winning pedestal, maybe you've won, you felt like you've won, your work is not done. You need to continue to maintain that position and continue to grow. So I thought this one was pretty interesting, and I thought it was very true. It's like whenever I personally achieve one of my goals, it's like, this is cool, but I need to keep going. It's not really what you thought it was going to be when you got there. You thought in the beginning, I'll set this goal, and once I get there, it'll be like utopia. It'll be amazing for me. It'll be the best moment ever. But once you get there, you realize, I need to keep pushing. I need to keep going to feel fulfilled. So this thing, you don't celebrate your achievements because you always want more, kind of solidified that for me. And it was like, okay, I'm not the only one who kind of feels like that. And finally, the last one, this goes against a lot of what people say, is like, you need to love what you do, pursue your happiness, pursue your passions, all that stuff. But sometimes those kind of things don't work out. And what this book taught me is you don't always have to love the work that you're doing. You just need to be addicted to the results. And that's just true. And when it comes down to being a relentless competitor, and whether it's in business or sports or whatever, being addicted to the results is what's going to push you through like 75 to 80% of the time, compared to just being your passion, something you love doing. Don't get me wrong. Make sure you love what you do most of the time, but being addicted to the results that you get from that is what's going to push you through and really give you those results that you're looking for. Finally, book number 3 for 2021 was $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi. If you're an entrepreneur, everyone and their dog read this book, so it's not really anything special at this point. But I will talk about it because it did show me quite a bit of new information when it comes to business. This is straight business orientated. It's not something that's really inspiration. I mean, it can be inspirational, but the way that Alex presents this book, it's not cookie cutter at all. It's straight to the point, and it gives you exactly what you're looking for if you're looking for a good sales and business book overall. And I thought this book was just extremely powerful. It was pretty short, but it got right to the details right away, and I learned a ton within, I think it was like a 3-hour-long audiobook. It was very short. But one of my main takeaways from it was you only need to become rich once. So the book is to the point, no filler, and lays out everything that you need. And the sentence there, you only need to become rich once, kind of resonated. It's like, once you get to that first, I guess, whatever you consider rich, you've done it, you know the process, and you can do it over and over again. It's replicable to the point where you know exactly what you need to do to replicate what you've already done. All the hard work, you know exactly the steps and the guidance. So I like that one. Alex talked about it. It's just a brief statement from the book, but it is something that stood out to me, so I wanted to include it here. The next thing I learned, obviously, and anybody who read this book definitely knows this is one of the biggest things, is structuring an offer is the most important and make or break thing that you will do. And whether it's from your books that I've published, the different online businesses that I've started, or my online course that I have that I sell, structuring the offer is the most important thing for the customer experience and getting that initial push in order to get to that point where you say you become rich, in order to make those initial sales, build that foundation, and have a successful career in whatever it is that you're doing. And finally, my last takeaway is that a powerful guarantee solidifies any offer that you build and should rarely even be used if your offer is done correctly and is high quality. And that should go without saying, but a lot of people don't know this. I needed to hear it in the book in order to make sure it came to life for me. It was clear is that a powerful guarantee is good, but it shouldn't get used. Okay, because that structured offer that you create before that should be so powerful, so high quality, should deliver on all the things that you promise so well that people don't even use the guarantee ever. And I thought that was cool. Even though people shouldn't use the guarantee, Alex also talks about how to build an insanely powerful guarantee, which I definitely incorporate into my businesses now. And I thought it was very powerful when I learned about it. Finally, the bonus book here, the honorable mention was Digital Minimalism by Newport. And a couple of main takeaways. This is just all about digital minimalism, cutting down on things like Facebook, social media, checking your email, all that stuff. And I just wanted to read it. It was a pretty quick read. It was a great book. Few main things is a 30-day declutter is all it can take. So taking out of Facebook, taking out TikTok, taking out email, all those things that distract you, taking them out for 30 days and trying to live without them. Another thing that I took away from the book is you may not think it or realize it or not to accept it, but you are 100% addicted to your phone, no matter how you put it. Okay, and once you can kind of see that and put that into reality, then you can start realizing, okay, maybe I should put this thing down before I go to bed as soon as I wake up. Put it away and only have select hours where you're allowed to use it, if at all. And finally, the last thing it taught me is define your rules and your limits clearly. Write them down. Have them clearly in like a Google document, a Word document, whatever it may be, and stay within them and don't waver. So whatever those rules are, I'm only allowed to use my phone 2 hours per day. I'm not allowed to open it during the mornings. I have to put the phone away during night. Whatever those rules are that you make for yourself, stick to them, write them down, make sure it's clear, and follow them. So finally, the books that I want to read for 2022 are these guys. Winning by Tim Grover, which is his follow-up to Relentless. Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. I just want to learn about that. I think it'd be super interesting to learn about the different intricacies of Steve Jobs' life. 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I still haven't read that. I need to read it. I know it's one of the best books out there in terms of business mindset and everything like that. And finally, The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, which is basically a book about the small little optimizations that can make the biggest difference for your business and life. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Before I let you go, I want to make sure you join my 100% free online Facebook group, which is a group all about self-publishing your own books through Amazon. So if you're interested in learning how to get started with selling books and making money through Amazon by self-publishing your own books, all you gotta do is click the link in the description down below. It'll take you to the Facebook group where I have a 5-step guide. Once you join it, you can read and it'll show you exactly how to get started with self-publishing. And there's also over 6,000 people in there now. So if you have any questions, you can post them in there and you'll have people answering them right away. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Try to post new videos about self-publishing, online entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general every single week. So that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in next week's video. Peace.